right, welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show, taped live at Fuse, 366 Queen Street East, the heart of Toronto. And we have an amazing woman. She is a realtor for RE/MAX. Please welcome Francoise Pollard to the show.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love the floral.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Now, we connected actually 7 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
in
and I was selling jewelry.
That's right.
At the time, my line was Beat for Health.
That's right. And I was hustling, trying
and
to
you were
find customers.
And we had our different grinds, but we're back now. It's funny how life works.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and you haven't changed.
No.
Just keep getting better and better looking.
Thank you.
Francoise, tell us about your background leading up to being a realtor.
Okay, I've always been in sales. I started sales, I was in retail at the age of 20. I worked in high-end retail clothing in Toronto. And then I had the opportunity to land a job at Nestle Canada. The director worked in healthcare, and he hired me on as a medical sales rep, and I stayed there for about 10 years.
Now you're a realtor.
Yes.
And what areas do you cover?
I cover mainly Peel. Brampton is where my office is. I also work in Mississauga. I live in Caledon. I also work there, as well as the Greater Toronto area.
Okay, great. So let's talk about real estate.
Okay.
Now, everywhere you go in Toronto, you see buildings, left, right, center, construction. So what's happening? What's the trend in real estate?
Right now, it's a seller's market, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. There are more buyers than there are homes for sale. Okay. In Brampton, it used to be very
more demand than supply.
More, yes.
Okay.
There's very little supply. Actually, there are more listings this year than last year, but there are more buyers, and I guess we're getting buyers from all over the world, and that's what's causing the lack of inventory.
So what's happening? Are more people coming to Toronto looking for homes?
Canada is not only Toronto; it's all in the outskirts.
There's an explosion. Okay.
Yes, I have, because homes are becoming so expensive in the GTA. I'm taking a lot of my clients out of the GTA, and they're looking for homes and buying homes in Kitchener, Guelph.
Hamilton.
Hamilton,
all
over out there, yes. That's still much more affordable than it is in the GTA.
Okay, so what's the average for a condo in Toronto?
Well, that depends. My focus, my area is in Brampton.
Okay.
And it was around 350.
350
Yes.
in Brampton?
Yes.
Okay.
But Brampton is not the best place to buy condos. If I were working with a buyer, I wouldn't take them to Brampton. I would take them to Mississauga or Etobicoke or Toronto.
Okay. So Brampton is just like the family type
Brampton, yes. You don't make much money on condo apartments in Brampton, but if you were to buy a condo townhouse, you could make money.
Okay. Got it. So what are some of the mistakes people make when they get into real estate? Let's talk about maybe 3 of them.
Not networking.
Not networking.
Yeah, you got to network. You're always on the hustle. Whether you go to a party, you're going to the gym, you're always looking for your next customer. So that was one of the biggest mistakes. And I learned that the hard way. I'm a very private person. I don't have a lot of friends, but I have close friends. And I just, for the first couple of years, it was really difficult until I realized that I needed to network.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So as a realtor, those are some of the things you need to do to prepare.
You have to be out there all the time. It's exhausting, but you've got to do it.
Okay. And then come on a show like this and share the good word of what you do.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And what's another thing that people mistake when they're
putting too much? Okay, it's very expensive to be in real estate to start. Our fees, when you work for a company like RE/MAX, our fees are very high.
Okay.
There's everybody wanting to approach you, wanting to sell you something. So they want to sell you a website. They want to sell you numerous things. You have no money. But you're finding money, you're borrowing money to invest in this. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The best way is to use your own resources. So for example, I used to door knock a lot. I got a lot of my clients.
Really?
Door knocking is the cheapest, most efficient way. They get to see you eye to eye. I'm really good at door knocking. And people often invite me.
What if they don't answer? You just...
No, next. It's a numbers game. Next, you move to the next, right? So I door knock. People get to see me. I get to talk to them about the neighborhood. It's amazing. I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay.
And now with social media, that's another way. A lot of people are really good on social media, but I'm so busy, I don't get a chance to really work my social media.
Okay.
My husband now has just joined me.
Oh, good.
He's really good in social media, so I think that...
So that's a nice balance.
Yes.
You do the door-to-door, he does the Twitter and Facebook.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So what are the right things to do in real estate when you're buying a house?
The first thing I would do would be to consult a realtor. There's so much information to be had. So what I normally do when I meet a client is I spend about 2 hours just going through the entire buying process.
Okay.
You first want to make sure that they can be pre-approved for a mortgage. So that's really, really critical, because why would you want to take
So
somebody
qualifying.
else? Yeah, take them out and buy a home when they can't qualify. You've wasted my time, the seller's time. The buyer gets so disappointed. It's
Right.
just not a good thing to do. So
Sure.
I spend a lot of time getting them pre-qualified. I have a mortgage broker that I work with. She gets on the phone. We speak to the client. We do all the numbers before we even leave the gate. So that's the most critical things.
Okay.
Very often I work with clients sometimes 2 years before they're going to ready to buy a house, because I tell them exactly what to do, how to handle their finances. It takes some time.
Okay, so you give them a realistic build up to
goal, yes.
Okay, a goal.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And then what's another thing?
Let me think. Another thing would be them going out to purchase a home and buying the first thing that they see.
Impulse shopping.
Impulse,
I do
yes.
that a lot with shoes.
And I find first-time home buyers when they're looking at a home, they're not looking at important things. They're looking at the paint. Who cares about the paint? You can change the paint. What they should be
paint,
looking
really?
Yeah, or they're looking at the seller's furniture. It's not your furniture. Why do you care about the furniture? So I try to educate them. When you go into a home, let's look at the roof, look at the foundation, look at the windows, because those are all added cost.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're focusing on the wrong thing, and don't get emotional. It's your home, but it's a business too. You got to think about it as if you were buying a car or something of importance. Don't get emotional when you're buying a house.
Don't get emotionally attached to the purchase.
No, because if the deal doesn't go through or something happens, let's move to the next.
Okay.
Don't get devastated.
No real estate counseling for them. No.
Well, I do that a lot.
Okay.
I'm a realtor and also a counselor, I have to tell you. Yep.
All right.
I work with people who are going through divorces. People are getting married.
Really?
All sorts of, everything. I get phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm getting a divorce. I want you to sell my house. Well, I just sold you the house a week ago. We're not getting a divorce. So I end up going
We're going to work it out.
You're going to make this work. You're not getting a divorce. So I'm at their house at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were really accessible. Like, you care about what you do.
Oh, I love my clients. I would tell you about 95% of my clients have become my friends. And that's where I get all my referrals from.
Of course. Because
I
you're
treat
living
them
in your purpose.
I treat them like family. And there's so many things can happen to you when you work with realtors. You got to get a good realtor.
Yes.
You really do.
And I can see you're working with integrity and lots of knowledge.
Yes. When I first got into the business, I first said, I don't want the money to run me. I'm working for clients, and that's my objective, to look after them. Everything else will follow.
That's right. So you're chasing the passion, not the money.
Yeah,
But it comes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I absolutely love what I would do. I don't want to do anything else. So I'll do it until I'm 80 years old. I'm serious.
All right. I love that passion. So tell me, how has your life been transformed by your passion work?
Oh, my goodness. Working for yourself is not the easiest thing, I will tell you.
No, it's not.
Because you're always working. Always working.
Always working.
You always have. So either you're working with clients or you're working finding clients. You never have a time to relax. The good thing is you're often in the position where you can help people.
Yes.
I help people get a mortgage. So many people have bad credit or have done stupid things. Like I said before, we work with them a year sometimes before, sometimes 2 years, 6 months, whatever. Mm-hmm. Being in control of your life is what I love the most, and not having to take directions from somebody else. I hated working in the corporate world and being told what to do when I knew what to do.
Right.
I love working for myself.
Okay, beautiful. All right. And we love the way you work. So tell us, how can people find you?
They can find me by calling me at 647-204-6307 or contact me on my website at francoisepollard.com. I'm also on social media. All you have to do is Google my name and you'll find me.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Francoise Pollard, everybody. Loving real estate. Thank you. We'll be back.